7 is sworn in. We thank you for joining us for Wave News at 11. I'm Jose Sosaya. The union's president-elect says his main goal once he takes over is improve working conditions for correctional officers. Wave News reporter Meredith Lee shares this update. Meredith.
Yeah, this isn't the first time Daniel Johnson has stepped into this position with the Fraternal Order after serving from 2020 to 2024. This time, though, Johnson says he has to make up for some lost ground with a staffing shortage that has gotten worse.
6 floors, more than 1,400 inmates, and around 100 officers short. Officer Daniel Johnson says that's the current status at the Louisville Metro Department of Corrections.
It's just more work than they can handle.
Johnson says LMDC has struggled with maintaining staffing for years. It's something he worked to correct when he served as president of the Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge 77, from 2020 to 2024.
And, we worked with council, we worked with the mayor's office, and we were able to come up with some type of solutions to, like I said, raise the pay, and we were starting to chip away at those vacancies, and it was getting better. But now we're in a situation where those things weren't continued.
Now, as Johnson prepares to take on that role again, he says the problem has only gotten worse, reaching what he calls a critical and unsustainable point.
You're basically a manager of anywhere between 300 to 400 people on the floor in a place, in a room that they don't want to be in.
Corrections officers already work mandated overtime, about 16 extra hours per week, he says. On those shifts, Johnson says the lack of manpower means officers are being overwhelmed with additional post assignments and duties, leaving gaps in surveillance that inmates are noticing.
They see that and they take advantage of that, and they know, oh, we've only got one person working the floor right now. If we're going to jump somebody, now's the time we're going to do it, or whatever type of plans that they're trying to come up with, and it adds to the dangers of the job, and it's a stressful environment just to be in.
Current LMDC Director Jerry Collins stepped into his role in 2022. That year, 5 inmates died from overdoses or suicides. Collins worked to stop drugs from coming into the facility through scanners, along with installing Narcan in the dorms to help inmates who might be overdosing. He also added master-level professionals to screen inmates for their mental state to avoid a possible suicide. Collins and the employees union worked to increase salaries for employees. Now Johnson tells me he plans to restart efforts to hire more correctional officers and increase benefits in hopes of turning the situation around and making the department safer for everyone.
And so it does take a special kind of person that want to come inside the jail and work. And, sometimes it's hard to find those people, but somebody's got to do it.
Johnson is set to be sworn in as FOP Lodge 77 president tomorrow evening. We reached out to LMDC to respond to Johnson's comments on the staffing shortage, and while they were not available to speak with us, we are expecting to hear from the chief tomorrow. Meredith Lee, Wave News.
All right, Meredith, thank you. A 15-year-old is dead after he was shot in the Parkland neighborhood over the weekend. LMPD says it happened around 5:50 Sunday morning. Norton Healthcare West called police about a teen being brought to their hospital and having a gunshot wound. Staff tried to help the teen, but he died from his injuries. LMPD believes the shooting happened at a house on West Kentucky Street. Right now, there are no suspects, and the teen's name has not been released. In response to this homicide, Metro Councilwoman Tammy Hawkins tells Wave News that any parents concerned about their child's behavior should turn to some services the city offers. Hawkins mentioned the work the Office of Violence Prevention does in cracking down on youth violence. Hawkins says sometimes the toughest decision may be for the state to step in.
That when you can't handle your kids and you just don't want them to go down the wrong roads, then you have to hand them over. Sorry to say it, but there are services out there for kids that are underage that just do not want to abide by the law. I'd rather see my child be alive, and them be in services and under services that will get them down the right path. Versus for me to get a call saying that my child has been a victim of a homicide.
Right now, there is no open local facility to house juvenile offenders. Both the former Jefferson County Detention Center in downtown Louisville and the state-run Juvenile Detention Center in Linden are being upgraded. The state facility should be ready by mid-2026. while the Louisville project is set to reopen in 2027.
Well, it's been cold today, and it gets even colder overnight tonight. Check out these wind chills early tomorrow morning here. We're talking single-digit wind chills, especially outside the city of Louisville. Here in Louisville, likely seeing wind chills down into the lower teens with actual air temperatures a little closer to 20 degrees. Let's talk about that hour-by-hour forecast here for your Tuesday. See 22 degrees by 5 o'clock in the morning, 21 by 9 a.m. Sunshiny skies, but still cold during the afternoon with highs getting pretty close to freezing. Now, temperatures will be improving somewhat as we go throughout the next several days, and we've even got a small snow chance for New Year's Eve. More details on that coming up in just a few minutes.
New tonight, one of the three men convicted in Crystal Rogers' death has moved to a prison in Oldham County. Brooks Houck was Rogers' boyfriend when she disappeared in July 2015. The mother of five has not been seen since and is presumed dead. A jury found Houck guilty in July of conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with evidence. Now we're learning he has been taken to the Rotorua Correctional Complex. Houck was moved to the Big Sandy Detention Center November 3rd. Right now, Houck is serving a life sentence and appealing his conviction. A judge has not ruled on this motion. We're still waiting to learn the names of two people killed after a multi-car crash on Preston Highway. LMPD says it happened on Preston at Maple Spring Drive at around 8 Friday night. Witnesses say a man on a motorcycle crashed into a car there, then a second car crashed into them. The driver of the motorcycle was found dead near the scene. Two adults from the other cars were then taken to the hospital. We're now told one man died yesterday in the hospital. Police say the other victim is expected to be okay. Well, the cause of the crash is still being investigated, but police say they are not expecting to file any charges. Louisville Metro Housing Authority is racing against the clock to turn the light and heat back on for high-rise tenants as we're dropping back to colder winter temperatures. St. Catherine Court hasn't had power since Saturday because of an electrical fire. Leaders confirmed no one was hurt. While crews were able to restore power to the first floor and one elevator, the rest of the building is still dark.
We've given our residents two options. As temperatures are going to drop tonight, they can receive rent concessions and gift cards and stay with a family or friend or a hotel accommodations. Ultimately, we want our residents to return, so we're working as fast as we can to ensure that this situation is mediated and power is restored.
We learned the building's safety response system did work as intended, but that system caused more damage to the building's electrical system at the same time. While these residents wait to move back in, LMHA is trying to transition the last remaining tenants inside Dosker Manor. The apartment building is being torn down because of the building's poor conditions. Voluntary relocation started July of 2024, and since then, almost all the 578 residents have been moved out into better housing options. LMHA says one of the three Dosker Manor towers is already shuttered, surrounded by fencing and barbed wire. But for the 35 to 40 people who remain in the other two towers, it is now a matter of time before they are relocated. A new development will go up in its place, but the replacement plan has not yet been finalized. In more news, the Trump administration announced that for the first year of the Rural Health Transformation Program, each state will get anywhere from $145 to $281 million. The program will award $50 billion over 5 fiscal years. Half the money will be split evenly among states. The other half will be awarded through a point system that's based on a set of criteria. Of that second half of those discretionary funds, about 20% is based on a state's commitment to specific policy actions. We know Indiana will get $206.9 million from this program. In a release from Governor Andy Beshear's office, Kentucky is preparing to accept $212.9 million in funding for the RHT program. Governor Beshear highlighted this funding will help lessen impacts of recent federal cuts and help support healthcare in Kentucky's rural communities. Kentucky's plan is going to focus on several key issues that include chronic conditions, maternity care deserts, as well as behavioral health. There is also a big change coming to Kentucky smoke shops in the new year. Starting January 1st, all businesses that sell tobacco, nicotine, and vape products must be licensed with and by the Kentucky Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control. The new law also requires routine, unannounced compliance checks to guarantee retailers are not selling to minors or selling illegal products.
Very frustrating because we do try our best to comply. We do have to comply. We have state agencies coming in to check compliance. We have no violations, but yet it seems like that once we are in compliance, that there's another rule yet that develops and we have to follow. It already has affected our business quite a bit. We've seen our in-store traffic go down because of the rules and regulations on approved liquids that we can sell.
Now, there are also increased fines for violations with the new laws. A portion of those collected fines would then be directed to awareness campaigns to prevent teen vaping. One Metro Council member is proposing a clause to keep a beloved miniature pony with its owner in Germantown. Susan Bruner has had Bandit in her backyard for 14 years. In October, Metro Council passed an ordinance that in part says miniature horses must be kept on at least 1 acre of land. Bandit is on only around 0.2 acres right now, meaning that Bruner would have had to give Bandit up. But her neighbors signed a petition to get Metro to change the ordinance. Councilwoman Jennifer Chappell says she is working to add language to the ordinance to protect Bandit. Chappell sent us a statement that says, in part, after speaking with Metro Animal Services and the Jefferson County Attorney's Office, I learned ponies and miniature horses were included in this ordinance because they were inadvertently omitted from earlier animal control language. This was simply meant to add clarification, not to target a specific animal or community member.
New Year's Eve looks to be cold, and there is at least a small chance for a few snow showers that we'll be watching. It's a high temperature of 40 degrees on our New Year's Eve on Wednesday. If you can believe the end of the year is here already. We'll keep an eye on those snow showers for areas especially north and east of Louisville. We'll be tracking that and showing you some totals coming up in just a few minutes. And a Kentucky teen girl who had been missing for months found safe. You'll hear where police say she was. Their response, of course, to a happy end to this investigation.
Here's a look at the current Kentucky Lottery jackpots. The Kentucky Lottery, funding education for over 1 million Kentucky students. This newscast is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Now, Wave News.
Well, after the big big winter wallop that we had here Sunday coming into Monday. We're going to ease off on the rain and snow chances here over the next several days. It does not necessarily mean there's a 0% chance, because we are tracking some snow showers, especially north and east of Louisville Wednesday night. That is New Year's Eve. Now for Thursday, New Year's Day, most of that should be out of here. We'll even see a little bit of sunlight on the first day of 2026. And of course, there is a small rain shower chance in southern Kentucky on Friday. Right now, a lot of the data is keeping this south of wave country, but we'll see how that shakes out over the next several days as we get closer to time. Overnight tonight, we've got a flurry chance. It's a 20-degree overnight low temperature. Now that's here in Louisville. Most folks outside the city will be down into the teens as we start our Tuesday morning. Yikes, wind chills even colder than that. It's a colder afternoon on our Tuesday with a high temperature around 32 degrees. So despite the sun, we've got that cold air still in place for the second day of our work week here. The 3-day preview of the 10-day earliest alerts now on your screen. Let's talk wind chills for our Tuesday morning. Of course, low temperatures near 20 here in the city, teens outside of Louisville. When you factor in the wind, that feels like our wind chill temperature will be down into the single digits in many areas Tuesday morning. Bundle up. Let's chat about New Year's Eve. That's when we've got this small snow chance during the evening when folks are out and about for New Year's Eve festivities. It's a 10 to 20% chance for now. It may go up a little bit as we get closer to time here. Temperatures in the 30s. You'll notice on Futurecast after about 5 p.m. these snow showers start to move across areas north and east of Louisville. By midnight, there's still a few on the radar. Could put down a dusting of snow north and east of Louisville. Louisville and most of our Kentucky counties would be immune from this, but we are watching it very closely. The rest of the 10-day earliest alert shows us slightly warmer temperatures with 40s and 50s heading into next week. We'll talk more about that warmer air coming up in just a few minutes.
In more news tonight, a 13-year-old Kentucky teen reported missing over 2 months ago has been found in Maryland. Police say Winter Wagner was found safe in Montgomery County this Saturday. They received a tip that Wagner might be in the area. She was found inside of a home with 37-year-old Christian Delgado. He was arrested. Wagner was taken to a hospital for evaluation. Local police called finding her a Christmas miracle.
That is a statistic improbability. We were blessed. The longer a child is missing, then the more increased the likelihood is of foul play and something terrible happening.
Delgado is being held at the Montgomery County Central Processing Unit as he waits to be extradited to Kentucky. He is also being held on $1 million bond and is charged with kidnapping. An update to a story we told you last week. Someone is now charged with abandoning puppies at a Kentucky animal shelter Christmas morning. The puppies were left out in a box at the Lexington Animal Control Building on an already busy road. The staff of the shelter say these puppies had no food, no water, not the appropriate shelter, and no one made arrangements for their care. If we show you a photo, this is what was captured on security video. 2 individuals were seen dumping the puppies driving this white 4-door sedan. Well, animal control staff say James McDonald has been charged in this case, though he has not yet been arrested. Staff remind everyone abandoning animals is not just cruel, it is also illegal. It has been a headache for local drivers, but there's finally some progress. An update on the ongoing River Road Pipeline project. You're watching Wave News at 11. Some good news for Louisville drivers. Work on River Road just passed a big milestone, and most of it is back to normal. Louisville Water says they have now installed all of the new pipe along River Road. It's the area that stretches from the treatment plant in Crescent Hill down Zorn Avenue to the water company's treatment plant in Prospect. Last week, crews finished paving and striping the area near Wolf Pen Branch Road. The lines replaced the aging pipes that had been there in place for decades. The project started earlier this year, and again, they still hope to finish most of everything by next summer. If you have some free time tomorrow, Louisville Metro EMS is encouraging neighbors to come out for their blood drive. It's tomorrow from 10 to 3 at Metro EMS's CPR Center on Eastmore Road. The American Red Cross says it has seen a drop in donations, and they do need help to provide life-saving blood to medical facilities. Again, you see the address and the times there from 10 to 3 tomorrow. A quick reminder, if you've got anything to take care of at the Jefferson County Clerk's office this week, you'll want to do it sooner rather than later. The office will be closed New Year's Day and the day after that. So that is this upcoming Thursday and Friday. We are told they will be open for normal hours starting on Monday after. 2026 is fast approaching, and there are several events happening around Wave Country to help you ring in the new year. Making its yearly return is Kentucky Kingdom's New Year's Eve celebration. This is a festive, family-friendly way to mark the start of 2026 with rides, lights, and a fireworks show. Kentucky Kingdom will be open Wednesday, December 31st from 3 until 9. The fireworks are scheduled to start at 8:50. They can be seen from anywhere in the park, so you have a good seat. Tickets and details can be found on Kentucky Kingdom's website. Now, starting at 9 is the Taylor Swift dance party at Mercury Ballroom. Guests can sing, dance, and shine into a new year as the DJ plays the star's hits. It is, though, only for 18 and older guests. The Taylor Swift New Year's Eve dance party starts at 9, runs through midnight. Details are on the Mercury Ballroom's website. Now, between all the holiday parties and celebrations for New Year's, making healthy choices can feel tougher. It's often a time of year where you're squeezing in one last indulgence before the resolutions start. One U of L health doctor recommends if you don't work out at all, try walking for about 10 to 15 minutes a few days every week. And you could also try something that you might enjoy.
So nutrition is very important for more than just the aesthetics. Your body needs foods to be nutrition from the foods to be able to function properly. So adequate nutrition helps with your cognitive functioning, with your brain being able to process things and make good decisions. It also helps your body be able to store sugars correctly.
Dr. Bo also says making healthier choices can help improve your sleep and also support your immune system. Cards basketball wrapping up their winter break. You're going to hear from head coach Pat Kelsey about how they're getting ready for the next couple challenges. That's ahead in sports.
I know it hasn't seemed like it, but U of L does still have a 16th ranked men's basketball team despite not having a game since December 20th. The Cars went into their December break with a 10-2 record before opening up ACC play in California. Still sounds weird in year 2 of the conference expansion. U of L plays the Golden Bears at 9 o'clock Eastern time after a 10-day break.
You go back to the basics, you have more of a preseason mentality and just tightening the bolts of both ends of the ball is what we've done here, or what we did for the first couple days after the break. And then we locked back into specific game preparation and scouting type practices as we've gotten closer to the game.
Indiana star wide receiver Omar Cooper will be fully available for the Hoosiers when they take on Alabama in the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day. The Hoosiers are looking for their first win in the college football playoff in their second attempt. The Crimson Tide coming with a lot of SEC hype, but the Hoosiers are a touchdown favorite. Between now and kickoff, it's all about keeping everything in perspective.
Just by going in every single day leading up to that game, doing what we've done for the whole year leading up to this, just stacking those days and being able to, once the bullets are flying, being able to execute, not turn the ball over, just keeping things the same. We understand it's a big game, but it's just the next game for us.
We're coming up on the final week in the regular season in the NFL, and former U of L quarterback Tyler Shough is making a late push for Rookie of the Year. On Sunday, Shough completed 22 of 27 passes for 333 yards and 2 touchdowns, and the Saints' comeback win over the Titans for their 4th straight win.
The composure, navigate some stuff early, big play after big play. He's obviously having a special season. I know, he doesn't start the season, as a starter, but just the way he's handled himself through this whole journey, I think, really, really special.
We're having fun, just operating, going through those adversity, those ebbs and flows of the game. And, I'll try and stay as steady as I can. And the guys we're feeding off each other. Hey, you're going to go win this game right here. Let's go win it right here. One play at a time.
The Saints close out the regular season on Sunday at the Falcons. And make sure to tune in to Wave 3 and NBC on Sunday night for a win-or-go-home season finale as the Ravens travel to Pittsburgh. The winner takes the division and advances to the playoffs. The loser goes home to the couch. No word yet if former U of L star Lamar Jackson, who's nursing a back injury, will be available. We'll be back right after this.
Now, your 10-day forecast from the Wave storm tracking team.
All right, let's chat about the long range here on the 10-day earliest alert. First off, a lot of folks are probably traveling this weekend back home from New Year's festivities, maybe Christmas festivities too. Most of the eastern U.S. on Sunday looks good, except for Chicago. They have a fast-moving system from Canada moving in with some snow up that way. For us, snow chances are slim next week. In fact, we're up to 52 degrees on your Monday, if you can believe that. Not as warm as it was over the weekend, but certainly an improvement over the cold air that's in place now. We will start to backslide into the 40s heading through Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Eventually, as we head toward Thursday of next week, that's 2 Thursdays from now, we'll be back into the 30s. There is a small snow chance that we'll keep an eye on. That time frame after January 8th, we'll be looking for a little bit of wintry weather, perhaps. We'll keep you informed as we get a little closer to that period.
Well, to start the week, it's been the ideal kind of weather to curl up with a good book and relax. If you're looking for recommendations, the Louisville Free Public Library is highlighting some of its most read titles. The library saw more than 1.6 million digital checkouts for the year. Now, the total number of checkouts includes digital and print. That number stands at more than 3.6 million for 2025. Now, some of the top ebooks you could see there start at the number 1 spot: The Women by Kristen Hanna, Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt, and Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. You can see the list rounded out at The Let Them Theory and The Wedding. The Women was also the library's top fiction book checked out. Might not be a bad idea to, just grab a couple blankets and enjoy some downtime as you wind down for the evening. Sunrise starts tomorrow morning. We appreciate you joining us for Wave News at 11. Have a good night.
Get live streaming news, 24-hour weather, investigations, podcasts, and more, all for free with Wave Now. Sponsored by Kaufman and Stigger Injury Lawyers. Get the Tiger on your side.